Okay. Awesome.
Are we live?
Welcome to the weekly live stream of Lights On, presented by Gloving.com, sponsored by Glow Beverages, right here. Bam. Today I'm here with this guy. Do you guys know who he is?
What's up, guys? I'm Ice Cream Teddy. How you guys doing?
Ice Cream Teddy, two-time IGC champ, obviously one of the judges for this first season of Lights On, and founder and CEO of TwoGlove.com.
Hey, throw that logo up right there.
All right, throw
Good
it
job,
up
camera
there
guy.
for
Good job,
him.
camera guy. I love you. You're the man.
Okay.
You guys don't know, the camera guy's the man. Just in case you didn't know.
All right, I know, you know.
Yeah.
But let's move on. What are we going to talk about today?
Well, we can talk about what these competitors need to know, which is who made the top 16 of Lights On?
Who made it?
Who made it?
Not going to tell you yet. Give us like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, and then we'll tell you.
He's such a tease.
I know. I'm a tease. He knows. He knows all about that.
It happens. Okay, so what do you want to talk about first, Davis?
Well, I mean, you judged the top 32 matches.
I did.
You know, you just finished them. A couple days ago.
Yeah, I've been a little sick, so it took me a little longer to get to these matches. I'm not contagious. Don't worry. Don't get all germophobic. We're good. It's okay. It's fine. He's nervous.
I'm invincible, dude. Don't. All right. Anyways.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways.
Let's go back.
What I do want to talk about though is some of the matches that you judged, you know, really quickly. A few of the ones I wanted to talk about were a couple very close matches that I saw, which were between Steamboy versus Megatron and Team Money versus Rhapsode, who are part of the what team are they part of again?
PM.
Yeah.
Had to put it up there real quick.
I set you up for that one.
You're
You're welcome.
I enjoy it. You're gonna set me up again like 3 more times in this live stream.
And then the other one I want to talk about is but actually Long versus Papa Panda. I want to talk about that one because, you know, I think Long is someone that is actually making a name for himself because of this first season of Lights On. He's an international glover from Vietnam whose community is tiny, but he's definitely bringing a lot of exposure to the art over there. So I think that's a cool thing to talk about. And then finally, of course, how can we leave out the one matchup that everyone just kind of went over, Puppet versus Materia. So let's save that one for last because I'm pretty sure we can go deep on that one. Let's kick it off with Long's matchup versus Papa Panda. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I thoroughly enjoy both shows. Papa Panda has a great presence about him, and you can tell that everything he does with care. There's no wasted motion. There's nothing extra just for fun. Like everything has a purpose and everything goes in its place, and it's a well-oiled machine, and I enjoy that in a light show. Long, on the other hand, is and actually you just talked about this earlier, that he comes from a dance background.
Yep.
And that really shows in his performance. Now there are some parts of his show that some would call like, you know, noise, where he's doing like this kind of stuff, and yeah, I'm not saying he's going to get points for doing that, but the fact that it's on beat with the song means he's not going to lose points for it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And what makes up for his lack of concepts in that is that when he does bring out concepts, it's tied to part of the song, or it's just something very unique. You know, there's a lot of things that he does that a lot of people just don't do, and it's a refreshing thing to see. And he does them well, and technically well, and animated well.
Yeah, with that matchup, when I watched it personally, I was actually very disappointed in Papa Panda's show. You know, he's known for his whips and that style, and I did feel like he stepped out of that a little bit and went pretty techy throughout the show. And unfortunately, you know, the tech is okay, but I felt like he kind of hit a wall early on in the tech and started repeating himself as he went along. So
Happens sometimes.
It does happen. Honestly, I was sitting there waiting for him to bust out his super clean signature whips. So there's that. And like you mentioned, Long's show, to me, when I watch Long's show, it just feels structured but very raw. You know, he's just having fun with it. He's moving along with the beats, and it's not the cleanest show at all, by any means. But you could just tell he's into it, and he's trying to make you feel the song, and that's what I appreciate about it. And I can see, because he comes from a dance background, it makes a little more sense. So,
it does.
Let's move on to a couple close matchups we had here. Let's talk about Steamboy versus Megatron.
Let's do that.
You mentioned Steamboy from the top 64.
Steamboy, I thoroughly enjoyed his top 64 match. Megatron, I also thoroughly enjoyed his top 64 match. However, I will say that they both set the bar for themselves very high, and I was not as impressed with either top 32 show compared to the top 64. Just was not as impressed
Yeah,
overall.
Yeah, I can agree with that too. I watched both shows. Both shows started off pretty hot to me, maybe for the first minute or minute and a half, but I really felt like it just completely fell off after that, and it felt like they both got kind of frazzled or were just reverting back to, previous concepts. And
Jumping around.
yeah, it lost, I guess, further substance as it went on. It's almost as if it went to a climax and then quickly just went like this, versus like coming down slow into the end of the show.
Yeah, it's like you're driving a car. You get one scratch on. It's like, one scratch, no big deal. But all of a sudden, it's like.
Yeah. It started
and
fall apart.
before you know, all of a sudden you're driving old and busted down the street. Now that's not saying either of their shows are old and busted.
I just called you guys old.
I did not call them old and busted. Let's be real. I'm the old and busted one.
I'm old and busted. You guys got two old and busted.
We're old and
OGs.
busted. You guys are dope. I'm old. He's busted.
Nice try in the recovery. But anyways, hey man, that's what we're here for. We're just telling you our thoughts on the shows. Honestly, which one of you makes it, you'll find out. But you better bring the heat in the top 16 because you can't be bringing that level to, the later parts of the tournaments like this.
Yeah.
You always got to be bringing the A game. I honestly didn't feel like either of you did. But hey, it doesn't matter because only one of you can progress. And as long as one of you did better than the other, then it's all good.
I will say, though, just as a side note, because they both really impressed me in top 64.
Oh, yeah.
But when you do that, you absolutely have to follow up. Like when you drop down like this, it's I don't know. No matter who moves on, I feel like myself and the other judges are going to be automatically a little more critical of that person because of the I guess range of the shows that we saw. It's just it makes it very difficult. For you to progress as a Glover, because the judges have so much in their head about what you're doing and everything. But anyway, I'm sorry. Let's move on to one of the other matches.
His point is, be a consistent Glover if you want to be successful.
No, I didn't say consistent. I didn't say consistent.
I'm wrong. You're right. Let's move on.
I'm just saying have confidence in what you're doing and know to save your best stuff for the later rounds of a competition.
All right. Whatever he said. I'm actually just trying to show you guys the top 16 while this guy is trying to give you advice.
He's trying to tease and trying to keep you guys here and chill. I mean, I like when you guys kick it and chill this. You guys enjoying it? You guys enjoying your live stream so far? Cool.
Just a couple more matchups we want to discuss, and then we'll show you the top 16 and all that.
Let's talk about that PM match, though.
Yeah, PM versus PM. We got Team Money versus Rhapsode. Now, I actually don't know Team Money very well, but to me, extremely strong show versus Rhapsode. I've known Rhapsode since he was a little Sode back in 2010. Baby Sode. And so, but I want to hear your thoughts. I mean, you're PM, they're PM. How is it judging your family members? It'd be a little tough.
I enjoy judging PM versus PM matches. Excuse me. Everybody in the fam always seems to bring it when they go against somebody else in PM. Like it's,
of course.
It's like getting into a fight with your best friend. You're not going to hit anybody harder than your best friend. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. So it's the same kind of thing with PM. Like we hit hard, and I enjoyed the fact that T Money had such an added presence compared to his usual shows, and I really enjoyed that Rhapsode took the time. Excuse me. How best to put this? I really enjoyed that Rhapsode took his concepts and he really slowed down and refined a lot of things. And we actually talked about this last time I was here, and you mentioned that you were concerned about Rhapsode's cleanliness, and I really think he heard that and brought it this time as far as how clean his show was. I
mean, I'm gonna be honest. If I had to compare cleanliness between the two, even after I've seen the matchups, I still think Team Money was a lot more crisp in his just general concepts, his use of space, his angles, his isolations. I think Team Money is much cleaner. I think Team Money has better technique overall. But what I will say about Rhapsode is, when you see Rhapsode's show, you know it's Rhapsode. You just know. You could be 10 feet away, you could be 100 feet away. It's a Sode show.
Yep, you're like,
and
that's a Sode right there.
Exactly, and his presence really pops through. So they really were strong in different areas, but they were both really strong in their different areas. So it was a damn close matchup, but...
How many point difference was that? Do we have that noted?
I don't have that right off the top of
We'll
my
get
head.
it. We'll get it when you guys see the scores.
You guys will see the scores online. Yeah, either after this or tomorrow I'll put them up. But
Let's talk about one more match, and then we'll give them the scores because they've been waiting a long time.
one more: Skittles versus Teddy. No, I'm just kidding. Puppet versus.
He don't want it. He don't want it. Like, let's be clear. He don't want it. Like, anytime you want to go exhibition match,
He can't
we can
have
do
it. All right. So
Anytime exhibition match, we can do it, bro. Let's go.
Impacts for life. Puppet versus Materia.
I'll impact too.
All right, guys.
Pushing it so
I know.
hard. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
They
Puppet
wanted-
and Materia. Puppet and Materia. This match was awesome. Let's just say that right out. This match was awesome.
I think there's for sure a 1 point difference there, which is really freaking close.
And yeah, on a 35-point scorecard, 1 point is a lot, especially because it's across 3 people.
I think 31 versus 30. That number one is very hard to score above 25 or 26 in my opinion on the scorecard. The fact that they both scored 30 and the fact that they were both 1 point from each other, exciting match. What do you think?
Absolutely, a very exciting match. And I have a real kinship with both of these guys. You know, I watched them grow up when I was in the sponsorship committee, and see them become sponsors and become the world-respected artists that they are. And that's what they are. Let's give them credit where it's due. These guys are world-class gloving light show artists, 100%. Puppet now being on PM and Materia as one of the coaches on Two Glove, I feel a strong kinship with both of these guys, and this was super tough show to judge. What I liked about both of them, I really enjoyed Puppet's concepts. He brought a whole slew of you've never seen it before.
The diagonal stuff he does, I don't know how to do it.
Well, okay, so I want to talk about the diagonal stuff, actually. I'm glad that you brought that up. The diagonal stuff is cool, but what people don't understand is that kind of thing, if you're just a little bit off, and I'm talking about less than 1%, if you're a little bit off or a little bit shaky or a little unclean, it doesn't look good. There's nothing you can do
There's no room for error.
Exactly. There's nothing you can do with those concepts except be 100% on point. And I really want to stress the difficulty of those concepts.
Oh yeah.
And of that animation and that isolation that he does.
It's the first thing that I noticed in the show. I mean,
Yeah.
it was just he brought something different and he executed so.
That looks to me like that's a solid, 8 to 12 months of I'm gonna get this perfect, and it paid off.
What about Materia? What about his video?
I was just getting there. Hang on, hold your horses. I gotta give my PM brothers some props real quick. But now on to my Two Glove coach brother, Materia. First of all, Materia's intro. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let's talk about that because there's something that's very important about that introduction. We mentioned in the last time I was here about Jess's introduction. Not necessarily hurting him, but it was not helping.
It didn't add to the show,
exactly,
yeah.
It didn't add. What Materia's introduction added to this show was an emphasis on the ferocity. When the second he put his gloves on, you knew he was out for blood because of the last 2.5 seconds or whatever it was.
Oh, and for those that don't know, these two have a history. Puppet
do.
and Materia, this is their 4th rematch in a major gloving tournament.
Mm-hmm.
So just for those that don't know, this is why this one was so exciting to watch, and this is why I think Teddy's mentioning that the Materia's video was just so powerful.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It really played to the story between the two of them, and it really brought Materia's strengths to the focus. So you weren't even focusing on anything else besides what he wanted you to. I mean, unless you were actively trying, like for us judges.
Right. But yeah, so anyways, that was a super exciting matchup.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's time to tell them which one of those guys made it to the top 16
Absolutely.
along with everyone else. Camera guy, can you throw it up? Is it right?
Can
there.
you do the DBZ Fusion?
Bam.
Oh, it's already okay.
Damn, and congratulations to those who have made it to the top 16. We got
Wow.
a couple of international artists still in there. We got Long coming from Vietnam. We got Thomas, impactor from Australia, along with a
Nice.
bunch of other impactors, which is nice to see. We got Havoc, Zero, Corduroy, and even Tranquil and Megatron if they decided to impact. So it's kind of good to see that there. Obviously, your heavy hitters are in there. You got Mega Sloth, who is just absolutely destroying the scorecard in the past 2 rounds. We got Puppet in there. We got going against Starlight. Oh my God, that's going to be insane. T Money took out Sode.
You know, as you get to I'm sorry to cut you off, but as we get to the top 16, you can start to see where the possible who possible finals matches can be. And I'm just looking and I'm thinking matches like Mega Sloth versus Tranquil.
Wow, you're right.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Or Corduroy versus Outlaw.
Oh, now we're talking.
Yeah,
you mentioned an impactor. I'm interested now.
Hey, I mentioned impactor first too. Tranquil's an impactor. He counts. He got second in the, in the Impact Invitationals. Hey, shout out to PM Tranquil for holding it down.
There you go.
Just say, let's just talk about IGC real quick. Tranquil showed up, won an open bracket, then moved on, then won the Impact Invitation. Or sorry, not won. Got second in the Impact Invitationals. Only lost to Corduroy, and let's face it, Corduroy's a monster, so there's no harm in that. You know. Oh, and then had his PM trial the same day.
No, look, I get it.
It was great. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm getting off track here.
For the top 16.
This top 16.
Super important detail. Top 16, your video is due this Sunday, August 27th at 11:59
PM
Pacific time. So please, same rules as before. Please don't be late. You guys know the drill. You guys have been good about it.
If you send your video at 12:01, you are screwed.
Yeah, you really are. So, but yeah, that's that. Super excited. For those who did not make it into the top 16, and for everyone else who is not in the top 16, that's the entire gloving world out here, I will be releasing details about Season 2 over the next couple of weeks. So please make sure you stay tuned for that. It is going to be 2 brackets. One for the advanced glovers or anyone else who really wants to join it, and one that actually restricts the pros because we want up-and-comers to have their chance at competing with people on their level and to not be intimidated by everyone else, because honestly, once you start competing, you really start to level up. You really start to get that spark and fire in you, like I did for your competition. So
yeah, because now you want to compete again. He wants to compete.
I do, but I can't because I run this competition. I'm throwing it, and so
I guess I have to wait for me to throw another competition.
Yeah, I have to wait for him to throw one. But anyways, that's that. Anything last minute you want to add before we? Anything else important?
I just want to say, give a shout out real quick to Tangles and Vincent Van Flo for helping me out judging this competition and making this a full company spectrum panel. I mean, you got Emazing running Gloving.com running the competition with backed by Emazing, and then you have myself with 2 Glove, LED gloves, and Futuristic all helping out and all making this a true community run entity, and it's beautiful. So
Absolutely.
Thanks, guys.
And for Season 2, I want to continue those good vibes. So yeah, thank you. Big shout outs. Peace.